Welcome back to an episode of Allowed to Ask. We're still deciding, I guess, what we want to call it. No, we're calling it Allowed to Ask.
Perfect.
Do you like it?
Love it.
Okay. You're probably going to forget what it is in a week because on the Uber ride here, you definitely asked me what the name of the podcast is.
Correct.
What's going on? How was your week? Let's do a little catch up.
The week was great. Kind of mellow. Nothing crazy going on.
You got your hair done, I see.
Got my hair done. I was out east on the weekend, getting things ready for you for the summer.
Nice. Thank you for doing that.
Yep, and life is good.
Always a doer. All right. I got a few updates for you based on our last, since our last episode with those losers that I was talking with.
All ears. No, they weren't all losers.
Well, that's because you haven't heard the update. Yeah, there was potential, but let's start off with Jazz Guy. Remember Jazz Guy?
Oh yeah.
The one who was like air drumming on my thigh. I ended up just deciding that he wasn't for me. Right? That's fine.
That's fair.
So I kind of stopped. I didn't stop answering because I never stop answering anyone. I think that's a little disrespectful. I would never ghost anyone personally, and I've been ghosted and it sucks. But I was in Miami. I was just enjoying my life, and I was answering him when I answered him. But when I was answering him, you know me, 80 degrees and sunny. I was very friendly, even sending him like pictures of like the umbrella, like not of like me in a bikini. But he asked to see me when I got back, and I did my like classic text. You know, I had that like notes document with all the texts, and I sent him a very nice text, and I was like, look.
But I thought you liked him and you enjoyed him.
Yeah, I
but
did.
He's just
but
not
I was
for you.
Yeah,
and you don't want to waste anyone's time.
Yes, and just because someone is like nice doesn't mean I need to date them.
I agree.
You know, like, and that's something I have been learning. Just because he's a good person doesn't mean he's my person. So I sent him the text, and I was like, I think you're great, and I, have had fun getting to know you, but I don't see this going anymore romantically. The whole spiel, the whole shtick. And he usually I get good response. Like, usually like totally understands. Like, I appreciate you being honest. He goes, yeah, I figured considering you've been a little bit cold. He might as well should have called me a bitch at that moment. So I didn't answer then because what am I going to answer to that? So that one's down the drain.
So what do I say next?
Next, exactly. So next, okay. Next, we had remember the guy with the motorcycle who was like, "Ooh, baby, I'm gonna pick you up in the motorcycle."
Right, but you were supposed to have a date a few weeks ago with him.
Yeah,
and you're gonna hold on tight and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
I didn't hold on to anything. I held on to my like soul and dignity, and I went to grandma's that day instead, actually. But one Sunday came around, we never ended up communicating, which happened to me another time actually, motorcycle guy was out.
So you never spoke to him again?
No, I said to him, he was like, let me know your plans on, that was actually my fault. He was like, let me know what you're doing on Sunday. But I was just honestly not comfortable with the conversation we were having. Like, I don't need to be picked up in Manhattan on a motorcycle. Like, I can meet you at the restaurant. Like, it just was.
Maybe he was trying to be a little bougie.
I don't need that. Like, I could just get in a fucking Uber. Like, I mean, yeah, maybe he was trying to be bougie, or maybe he just drives a motorcycle. And honestly, I'm not mad about a motorcycle. Like, been there, done that.
Right, but I don't like a motorcycle in Manhattan anyway.
Yeah, no, we talked about that. We don't need to like go into that whole mom spiel of like, don't get on a motorcycle with a stranger. Mom's mantras. We'll get into that. But I was chatting with this guy who, remember Beverly Hills guy? Remember him? We never met. You were like, oh, Beverly Hills.
Oh, 6'5".
Yeah, 6'5". He was 6'5".
Yes.
Or I don't know, maybe he could be lying. I never met him.
And he sounded nice. Like, I mean, he's.
I love when you say that because I don't even know the guy. So what the hell do you know?
Told me, but then he was like, he felt bad that like he was squeezing in a date, and then he wanted to speak to you at night. Him.
Yes, him. Crazy memory.
Well, anything about you, I'm interested.
Crazy. Learning so much about you through this podcasting journey together. So yeah, we were chatting for a while, trying to set up a date, right? He had to push it, reschedule because of work, and then was like, I actually can meet tonight, whatever. Then we were both in Miami at the same time, and he was trying to get me to meet up with him and his friends, and I was just like, no, enjoy the bachelor party.
Oh, but that would have been fun, because he
was on a bachelor. Yeah.
So what if he invited you? But what do I always say? Look, it happened to me with Daddy.
I hate we're not getting into that whole bit again.
I went out with one of his friends, and that's how I met him. And then 100 years ago, when I was engaged to someone else, I went out with his friends too. So I always say, if you're not sure about the guy you're going out with,
check out his friends.
Yeah,
but this is a guy that I haven't even met yet.
Right, but so what? You're not
now
shy?
I'm down to meet his friends. No, that's not the point. I was going to 11 with that like strip club place with my two friends that I was in Miami with. And he was going to Space, which is around the corner, just giving you a little like Miami geography of the two very important places. And he was like, oh, come to Space after and like come to our table, whatever. I was like, oh, hey, cool, fun. So me and the guys I was with were going to go. He texted me that day being like, oh, are you still going to 11 tonight? And I was like, yes. And then I didn't say anything else. I just said, yes, I'm going to 11 tonight. We were supposed to go out that next Tuesday.
I remember.
Never heard from him.
And still never heard from him.
Still never heard from him. Like, I'm sorry. That's just like pussy energy in my eyes. Like,
no, it's just not nice.
You know, like you communicate. And that's what the whole thing with like texting before a date is just so deceiving and something I like to steer away from. And even me and this guy, I honestly I'm not going to say his name, but I honestly don't even remember his name, which is so scary. I'm having like a you moment, but no offense. But yeah, it's just like the whole texting before a date is so misconceiving. And we even said in one of our conversations, we were like, wow, we're so not like texting before date type of people, but like we're enjoying it. Like we verbally, you know what I mean? Like texting said that to each other. So,
but he might circle around again because you know how that always goes.
That's one of your mantras. They always circle back around.
But as far as the whole dating thing, I was thinking, I wonder if there should be, like, you know, when you take an Uber and you could rate the ride. Like, if you met him on an app.
Yeah, I did meet him on an app.
Like, maybe this guy has issues. Like, why waste your time or somebody else's time? I feel like on an app, like not
issues.
But not rate a date because everyone has different tastes and what you might like somebody else, whatever. Yeah. But like if someone stands you up on a date or somebody doesn't follow through when you have a date, like that should be like noted. So this way, maybe then the guy or the girl will be held accountable.
It's like a penalty.
Like, like they'll just be like, oh, you know what? I don't, Poshmark. You don't want to lose your 5 stars. Like,
new Posher over here. Right. Everyone follow our Poshmark account. What's your handle?
I don't even remember.
Mom,
and I have like 5
this is a
things
great
on
plug.
There. Who cares?
It's my shit. We want to sell it.
But that's why she wants me to do all the work.
It's probably at Janice Crevette.
She wants me to do all the work, go to the post office, and then I give her the money.
Exactly. My Venmo is also Danny Crevette. Like, don't be shy.
I'm over it, the poshing. But anyway,
you made it a verb.
But it should be this way. Maybe guys would be, or girls would be. I'm not just going to put on the guys, even though it's usually them, because we're all fabulous. There should be something so then people don't waste their time. Like,
I agree.
Like you don't stand somebody up. Like that's so basic and that's just not nice.
I hear you and I think that's very smart, but also at the same time, like people can change. Like this guy, for example, that I am literally going to lose sleep tonight and not remember his name.
I remember his name. I think I remember his name.
I don't want you to say.
Okay.
Like, whisper it. No, that was St. Petersburg guy.
Okay.
Like, what's wrong with you? But I think
I like that name. That's why.
Yeah. Oh, of course you do. But I think that's an amazing idea. But I do think people can change, which goes into like a larger conversation. Like I don't like this guy, for example. Maybe he's a little shy and is like, super communicative on text, and then when you get to in person, he could be super shy and not engaging. I don't think we should have like a penalty on someone because who knows down the line.
No, but who makes a date with somebody and then
twice
and then doesn't either follow through, make a plan,
and not say anything.
Cancel? Like that's weird.
And the first time he did that, I don't usually like to.
You also had that with Castman.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, he was annoying.
That was just another situation.
That was annoying.
Yeah, it's all. I hate to like bring it back to like a learning lesson, but I'm still figuring out like how I even like to communicate before going on a date. Like I used to honestly and everyone's different. Like I always talk about with my camp friends too. Like some of my camp friends love to text before going on a date. It's like that reassurance. It's getting to know them more. Me, I'm like, I want to get to know you on the actual date. And also it's very deceiving. Sometimes someone could be so chatty and then you get to the date and they're really shy and it's pulling teeth. I thought it was you who thought of this idea, and maybe I should gatekeep it, or maybe it was one of my friends, but it was like an app around kind of, I don't know if it was like an all women's app, but it could sound like a disaster, but it's kind of like letting people know like, oh, I went out with this guy, like this is what happened. Like, and he wasn't not to shit on guys and be like penalty, but be like, oh, you know what? Like he's Jewish from here, like not really my type, but maybe someone else will like him.
And I have that. even here.
Oh, you have it on your little
yes,
index
on my
card.
little notes because I'm old and I forget things.
Where are your glasses?
It's called the pool.
What do you mean?
That's what I always call it, the pool.
Oh.
And like if you go out with somebody, and there's a couple of guys that you went
should
out
we be
with.
sharing this? This is like a great app idea.
Oh, but
no, you can share it.
Okay. There were a couple of guys you went out with that I don't, you just didn't have the connection, and I get it and I respect that. But it should be called like the pool. Like if he's not for you, you kind of put him in the pool, and then he could go out with somebody else. Like I feel like you're nobody really fixes people up anymore. But if you have a great guy that's just not for you, and you think somebody else would connect with them, and it's always vice versa, and people help out, I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, also I would love to be set up more, and I was actually just talking about this with a friend this past week because she's trying to set me up with someone. My friend Sarah, and she was like, yeah, I gave him your number. He said he's traveling for work and then he'll text you when he's back. So it's just like, yay, that's so great. Like he looks really cute and like good stats on paper. Everything looks great. But it's like now it's totally out of her control. It's like up to the guy now. So and being set up, I mean, it doesn't happen as much as it really should anymore, I
agree.
think. But there have been times when even, myself and two of my closest girlfriends, like we've gone on dates with guys and then it hasn't worked out with them. So we didn't not pass them off, but you know what I mean?
Put them in the pool.
Right. Like the guy that I was seeing back in the summer through the fall, like one of my best friends has gone out with him before. And I asked her, do you mind if I go out with him? And she was like, no, not at all. It's really a respectful thing to do, I think, to pass it off to your friend if you're not interested.
Right. But I feel like you guys don't really, I've tried to set you up, and I thought I put you on an amazing date. And it was a great date, because you usually call me after sometimes. And then it got
I gotta
weird.
stop doing that. It's kind of weird.
No, I like it.
Yeah. I haven't done that.
That's
in a
how
while,
we
though.
started.
Yeah, you're right.
Am I allowed to ask?
Oh, yeah.
Because I like the dirty details sometimes.
You do, but there's never a dirty detail anymore on a first date.
No. But I still like to ask.
Yeah,
a few little questions.
Yeah.
And when you were young, I used to have to pay for the questions. But now I don't do that anymore because you're like
I would love to pick that
a
back
badass
up.
boss.
Well, let's speak that into the universe.
Okay.
Right. That was another situation where, the date was super long and it was super fun. We literally shut down the restaurant. Like we shared a kiss, shared a moment, and then
you saw him 2 days later and he made believe he didn't know you.
Not 2 days later. I saw him like 2 months later.
But he said to somebody.
He ghosted.
He said, I had a great date.
Yeah.
He said to the person, she's amazing. I had a great date with her.
Oh, did he now?
Yeah. And then,
womp, womp, womp.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
His
he
loss.
literally, yeah.
Next.
That was so funny this summer when I saw him.
Right. And you still see him.
See him literally every day at the gym.
Yeah. It's bizarre.
I actually saw 3 people I used to see at the gym this morning. 3 people.
And do you acknowledge them?
I smile. I wave. There's no reason to be rude. Like just because I don't agree with how they handle things doesn't mean I have to be,
I don't know. All these like young guys, and it could be girls too, so I'm not just zoning in on them.
But none of these guys I saw this morning were younger than me. They're all older than me.
No. But they're also broken and have so much crap going on. I don't know. It's like kind of exhausting. Like life is good.
Well, sometimes I think for those guys seemed all great, and I enjoyed my very brief time that I've had with them. It's just maybe sometimes I think like, oh, I don't think this of myself, but it's like I'm a lot. And I know that about myself. I am very energetic.
Well, you need someone to match your great energy.
I
But
don't know
you're
if I
a
need
lot,
someone-
but you're a great person. Like you're kind.
Thanks, Mom.
I know, but you're actually even a caretaker. Like you really have everything going on.
This isn't a podcast to pitch me because I'm single.
I know.
But I'm saying what my point of that statement is now I'm literally having a brain fart because you were just complimenting me. Thank you. Is I don't know if it's someone, this is it. I don't know if it's I need someone to match my energy. I need someone who can handle my energy.
Right.
And I'm sure there's a lot of other women out there who experience the same thing where it's like I'm very confident. There's a lot of confident women out there, trying to make it in the business world and have a great group of friends and all these amazing things. And sometimes I don't know, even maybe if I'm out in a bar, I can come off not intimidating, but it's like I don't know. I don't want someone who can necessarily match my energy. I don't need someone who, is super extroverted. It's just someone who could handle it.
And complement your energy.
And complement it. Right.
Correct.
Right. But you didn't end up with someone who has a lot of
Right,
energy.
because we're really like the opposites attract.
Yeah, you guys are. And it works. So you kind of touched on this before, around, like mom's mantras. I don't know what it is.
Oh, I had one thing before we circle into that.
Yeah. Circle back.
Let's circle back
So
for 1
business of
second.
you.
So I bumped into somebody at the eyeglass store the other day, and he
As you
was
put
like,
your glasses on.
how's Danny? Blah blah blah. And then he was talking. He's saying all these nice things about you, and then he was talking about life, and I said, congratulations on your sister getting married. And he's like, yes, it's so crazy. In high school, they would always like fool around and he would never call her. And he goes, how many times she was crying?
Oh my God. I thought you meant like him and his sister.
No, the sister would always like fool around with this
I
one
know who
guy.
you're
And then
talking
she
about,
was
yeah.
always in tears all the time. And he's like, he was always trying to talk her off a cliff. And now
It's
they're
a
married.
Very dramatic saying. Yeah.
And now, they're happily married, whatever. Like I was thinking, like maybe there's somebody in your past that's going to circle back around that you had a connection with. But life is really a lot about timing.
Oh my God, no. There is no one from my past that I could even imagine marrying. Well, no. Why?
Okay.
That's a really sweet sentiment, but like not to be disgusting. Like I feel like I kind of been there, done that with everyone in high school.
Okay, but I just thought that was a great story.
It is a great
and
story.
I was really
I didn't know
happy
that
for
they
her.
like canoodled in high school
All the time.
And
she was in tears like every Sunday because then she never heard from him.
every Sunday specifically. Sundays
Saturday night was a big night.
Sundays are the days for tears, I guess. Right. Thank you for bringing that up, and that's really nice that he was saying nice things about me.
Yes.
We'll talk more about that later so I can get even more details. Okay, so you mentioned before mantras.
Moms.
Well, do you say mantras or mantras?
That's what I was asking.
Momtras.
Momtras.
Ooh.
Okay, we have a new word.
Momtras. Okay, momtras.
So
you're holding your index card, so I feel like you have to say something.
Well, I'm just going to say, like, so being a mom is very rewarding and it's great.
Did you always want to be a mom?
No, not really.
What?
I didn't. No, I didn't. Like, I would like see people with kids and I'd be like, oh, they're so cute. And the second the mother would turn away, I'm like, okay. But then once I had my own, I was all in.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like with Charlie, our dog. You don't want a dog, and then you were like,
correct. Right.
Dogs for life.
Correct. So I always got lucky. Like, you guys are great. But it also
it's all because
is.
of your parenting. It's
a rewarding job. It's an exhausting job.
You're my full-time assistant.
Right. And it's also sometimes a thankless job.
That's actually rude. I say thank you all the time. Maybe my brother doesn't.
But now when you were like 4.
Well, I didn't know how to. I had a speech pathologist. I didn't know how to say words back in the day, so I couldn't say thank you.
Your R's. No, you could have. There's no R in there. But
Thinker.
Wait, I lost my train of thought.
Incoming with the glasses.
Right, but it's our job as a parent, to set your kids on the right track and for success in life, and
like the trip to Atlanta.
Right, and I also think it's hard to be a kid, and I think kids are mean to other kids. Like, I don't like that whole thing. Like,
were you
one
bullied
of my
when you were young?
I actually was. I had these 2 girls that used to terrorize me in elementary school.
What would they do?
And
Pull
before
your
they
hair
got
and
on
take
their
your lunch
bus,
money?
No, they used to take my lunch, and you know how I am with food.
Fatty needs her food.
Yeah, I was bad.
I'm not being rude by calling her fatty. Like, she actually calls herself
Correct.
fatty. So
I call myself fatty.
don't be like, this
they
girl's
used
a
to
bitch
steal
for
my
calling her mom
snack,
fat.
and they used to take my food every day. And before they got back on their bus, they used to try to beat me up. I was young, so I used to run to this one girl's
Queens,
house.
baby.
It was horrible. Yeah, but that's why.
Would they like actually beat you up?
Well, they would try to, but that's why
Why
I
do
have.
you- did
that's
you
why
fight
I have
back?
great. No, but now I'd love to find them and like run them over. But that's a whole nother story. I'm over it. Though.
Your
That was a
road
long
rage
time
would
ago.
be. You're like, I'm over. I can't wait to fucking hit them
Yeah,
with my
I'm
car.
sure they're not doing anything too great anyway.
The bullies never are.
So
I
I
was
always
bullied too,
taught
remember?
you.
I was bullied.
Oh yeah. She wasn't nice.
She was not nice.
And if I think about it also, like when you would tell me something that you were sad about, I'd hold on to it all day and be so sad. And like you'd come home and I'd be like, so how was it? You were like, it was fine. And I'm like thinking like, okay, I held on to it all day.
So, which is like a blessing and a curse. Like we're derailing here, but it's fine. Like you're so attached to me emotionally, so much so where, right, like if that girl was bullying me in 7th grade, like I didn't realize how distraught you were. And even when my ex-boyfriend and I broke up, you lost 20 pounds. or 12
Right.
pounds. What was it? A lot of pounds. A lot of lbs were dropped.
Right. Well, that's also because I spoke to him for another year.
Well, that was a you problem because I didn't ask you to do that.
I know, but
I didn't lose any weight after my breakup. You just lost all the weight. Like, I'm supposed to glow up then, and like my mom was losing the weight.
Yeah, it was just a bad situation, and I felt bad for him. But he's doing fine now.
Yeah, we're all good now.
Okay, so back to moms.
Yeah, Momtras.
Giving kids.
We should trademark that.
That's good.
It is
the
good.
tools to be successful in life. I always said to you, goes back into the bullying and whatever. I always said to you, I don't care how smart you are, how beautiful you are, you have to be kind and you have to be a good person. And I think now more than ever, you see it. You see it in business. You see it in connections. You see it when you were interviewing at places. If somebody works somewhere and someone had something bad to say about you, you weren't going to get the job. And I think that's
I
a really
about that mantra.
Important message.
It is. And I a lot of the things that you said when I was younger that I probably just like rolled my eyes and was like, shut up, mom. It's true. It's very prominent in my life right now. Like, even for business, for example, I am constantly networking, and I see that, someone I was in resource class with, like the slower class back in the day, who I was friendly with in high school, not super tight, but still have, follow him on Instagram. I reached out to him, asked to connect me, and, made the connection. It turned into a potential new business opportunity. And even that with going back to dating, like, you never know who, if you don't like the guy, you might like their friend, and you don't want the guy saying negative things about you.
100%.
And that's definitely something I forgot about that one, but it's definitely holds true every single day.
Right. And you're also such a great well-wisher. So, like, besides being, getting the kind message, you also need to be comfortable enough in your skin, confidence,
I don't think I was always I don't know if I was like a well-wisher back in the day, but like when I was younger, but I wasn't always as confident as I would say I am today. I feel like even in my friend groups growing up, like I was never like I was like loud and extroverted, but I feel like I wasn't always like this. I'm not like the star. I wasn't like the star of the group.
No, but you were all chicks
school.
like
I was in the fast-paced group for sure.
Right, but even like your college friends, everybody's with the program now, successful, just a great bunch of people. But you didn't. You always look for the good. You're not catty. You're not. I mean, like you say, I'm more catty than you are.
100%.
Like you tell me.
Oh, I always say, yeah, you were a
mean
bitch
girl?
in high
Are you a
school.
mean girl?
Were you?
I really wasn't. No, nobody would ever say I was a bitch.
Really?
I've always
I
been
basically
nice.
got called the cold bitch the other week by that guy.
I don't think he said that. I think his feelings were just a little bit bruised.
Well,
And he wasn't
life.
your guy anyway. But
2 minutes ago, you were like, really? I liked him. He was nice. We're not getting back.
no, but he wasn't for you in the long run.
No. Or the
why
short
can't?
run.
But why can't you just be friends anyway? Like, what do you?
I'm not saying that we're not going to be friends, and I think
Right.
I do think that's a blessing in dating, and the fun part of dating too is I'm friends with a lot of the people that I've seen back in the day, and we both just didn't feel a romantic connection, and has fostered friendships. But I don't need to become friends with every single person that I dated.
No, I know, and you want somebody that's gonna, at least in the beginning, put in the effort. But for like
We're back on this.
Beverly Hills boy, you could have also said, "Hey, what's the deal?" Like,
I don't like to do that because one, it was like 2 strikes. Like it was already like I don't need to put any more
but
effort
remember,
into
3
this.
strikes, you're out. Not 2
Not in
strikes.
this situation. In my book right now, it should have been 1 strike, honestly. But
no, you are 100% right. I'm definitely
why am I gonna follow up with someone who can't even remember, or if he does remember, make the effort to reach out? Like that's a waste of my time. It's a waste of his time. I'm dating intentionally. I don't need to. I'm dating intentionally, but I'm also not desperate to go on dates. I don't need to reach out to that guy.
Well, you're not desperate in any way whatsoever.
Thank you for
anyway,
the reassurance.
You got
Appreciate it.
good stuff going on. Okay.
This is just turning into a podcast about you complimenting me.
No. And then we could talk about work hard, play hard.
Wow, I forgot about a lot of these.
Right? That was another one. Right?
Did you
Structure.
work hard? Do you work hard?
No, but all these things, my mantras for you were things that I needed the structure when I was young. And we're not going to talk about when I was young because it's not a podcast. That would be like a mini series.
That's like a forensic file.
Well, it could be a forensic file.
Yeah, that's
I could knock
whole
somebody off.
different. We are not derailing down there.
But wait, work hard, play
Work
hard,
hard, play hard.
right? Remember we used to, because I think it's important in life, like to have structure and organization, and
But
for
that's
any
biting
kind of
me in the
kid.
butt right now, structure and organization, because I'm OCD as fuck. And you always tell me, like, you need to learn how to sit down and relax, which is so true. Like, I don't know how to do that.
But you're getting better. I just
where
said
do you
to you
think
back,
I
I said
where do
back
you
to your apartment. I said you're managing your time great.
Yeah, but like, where do you think I learned how to not sit down?
Well, it's from me. But I also was trying to teach you like not to be like me and learn from things. Remember we used to have meetings on Sunday?
That's so funny. I had meetings, and as one of your like mantras, I thought of meetings, and I think that ties into like really me being so anal in the workspace. And like, if you see my calendar right now, like it's just blocked off with not only like meetings and phone calls, it's blocked off with like do your laundry,
Right.
like call grandmas, like which I need to do more, but like, you know what I mean? Like that's one of your mantras was like meeting, where you would set dedicated time to go through shit with me.
Because you need structure, you need organization. Like, kids need that growing up. Okay. This is coming from a mom. That's
yeah.
why. Yeah. It's important.
Did you feel like you had structure when you were younger?
Not at all. It was like Girls Gone Wild.
Let's debrief.
No, we're not going into that. But the way I grew up was totally different. I had 2 older brothers, and I had a lot of fun.
Drugs. I had another one around everything happens for a reason, and kind of ties into like it is what it is, which is very. Yeah, take a sip.
That's mine.
It is yours. This is Momtras.
That's going on my tombstone.
Well, I thought that was going to be a tattoo at one point when you said you were going to get a matching one with me, but then you.
But that's what I always say. It is what it is.
It is what it is, and I think that's very prevalent in at least my life right now, where just even with like business, and if something doesn't work out, like, it is what it is. There's no reason to dwell on it.
Right.
Same with dating. It's like this thing doesn't work out. It's
out of your control.
It's out of your control.
Right. I mean, that's why I used to get mad when I used to say keep it moving, but it's like. With certain people, yeah, here we go.
My God.
But it's like next, like
yeah, that's what you wanted to call this. You want to call it keep it moving, and I need to express how frustrating that statement is. It's just like when you say keep it moving, it's like I'm moving and grooving, I'm moving and shaking in every aspect of my life. Like,
but sometimes there's always somebody in the background like taking up airspace. Not
never
anymore, maybe, but good. There was.
Nope, that's a whole other podcast as well.
Okay.
They always circle back around too is one of the ones that you always used to say. I think when I was younger too, I think you used to say they always circle back around.
100%.
Was that something that you experienced too when you were younger, guys circling back around, or more not?
No, not so much. It was so different when it was just easier. It wasn't so complicated. You didn't have all the social media, and I don't know, guys were just guys. Like now it's
guys are still just guys.
No, I know, but I feel like, I don't know why there's so many men in their 20s and 30s, like they're like broken and going through like these crises. Like life.
I don't know who she's talking about, guys.
Yeah, I'm not talking about anyone.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I just, like, life is good.
Felix is laughing in the background.
Is such
now you, Felix, are great.
This is just such an exciting time, the 20s, the 30s in your life. Like you're figuring things out. Like, it's all good. Don't be stressed.
I think men are still simple creatures, though, and that's actually that's a datra
yes,
mantra from Dad.
Yes,
he always says He was actually right about. And this is just like maybe like a pro tip for everyone. Like, listen to your dads. Honestly, like Dad has been right about every single guy that I have dated. He sucks. He's an asshole. He's cheating, and I'm like, Dad, stop it! Like hysterically crying into the phone in college, and he was right about every single one. I mean, he takes it to another. He's like, oh, I never liked that dude.
Right,
anyway.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
then that gets annoying.
Love you, Dad. But yeah, I think even though like dating was different back in the day, it's very much the same where I think men are simple creatures.
Correct.
And if we're tying it back to like me personally in dating, like I didn't hear from that guy for our date last Tuesday. Like he's not interested. That's it. Like I'm not going to like play a whole scenario like, oh, maybe he's just busy with work. Like, no, he remembered that we had a plan and he just didn't want to reach out. And as you say, Next.
But it's weird though, also. But whatever.
Yeah, but like whatever. We're not losing sleep over it.
Okay,
Sister.
another one of my things. It takes 1 second to ruin your life. You remember that? Like you have to.
Ooh, we're getting into like drugs now.
Well, that was like that definitely was part of it, and that's why. And certain things I am a like rule follower also, but 1 second
Like?
to ruin your life. A rule follower?
No, I know you're.
Like
I know what a rule follower is. But like, how are you? What rules are you following? And what
I'm just saying in general, like I'll stop at a stop sign. I didn't let you drive in ninth grade and
Dad did.
after 9 o'clock. Whatever. Like certain things
I don't think that's
I'm a
true.
rule follower, but 1 second to ruin your life. Like you have to really, think about things and be present. I mean, annoying things that I say to you, like take out your ear pods when you're walking. And
Ear pods, everyone. Ear pods.
what are they?
AirPods.
Oh, there you go. All right, I'm old.
Ear pods.
Okay, but you know what I'm saying. But
yeah, you made me stop at stop signs and not drive past 9 p.m., but then you're also hosting the pre-games.
right, well, I did that for a reason because
Cool mom
I
alert.
enjoyed being with the kids, with all you guys. I knew you were doing bad things, and I remember I used to give all the kids 3 strikes, like, how many kids I had in the guest room, like vomiting, and I didn't tell their parents and stuff. But it's all part of growing up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't want to say who, but yeah, it might have been one of Jordan's friends. But it's all part.
Yeah.
It's all part of growing up.
Yeah.
And
you got to throw up
my
in the
mom
guest room
kind
as
of-
a part of growing up.
My mom kind of turned a blind eye, which was fine, but I was kind of a bad kid.
That's why anything I do is like
Right.
literally angelic.
I always say to you, how you grew up was not better than I did, but you were more aware.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. We're not getting into all that, but that's why also I love driving you kids around. Like, so you remember, like Daddy and I,
You need to
we
call
were
him
kind
Dad.
of.
Like,
I
Daddy's
never
just
really went
disgusting.
out on Saturday nights because I was just happy. I wanted to make sure that you had
No,
a
but
place to
you
go.
also are. You're a social butterfly, but also you're so not. You are a homebody.
I am, which is the truth. But also, it wasn't.
I'm starting to sense the homebody in me too. In my elder.
It wasn't
20s.
important for me to go out and sit at a restaurant. Like, I'd rather open up my home and let you guys do what you needed to do.
I was actually talking about this with someone the other day. I don't know why, but that like homecoming party that I had on my birthday,
Right.
and the doorman took
Don't say who, because I still didn't tell the mother.
no. With the huge bag of weed.
Yep.
Oh yeah. And then this is the funny.
And then
story.
I tried to get it back at the end of the night.
Yeah,
and they said
so
someone stole
Yeah,
it. He took
just,
all the
you just took all the story I was going to tell. But yeah, you
the
were
bouncer that I hired to
Mhm.
try to be responsible took all the weed and took all the alcohol.
Mhm.
And then when I tried to get all the weed back for the kid,
Yeah, not for you because
No.
you don't smoke or drink.
no, it was for the kid because I
Yeah.
felt bad.
You feel bad that the kid lost all their weed.
Yeah, whatever.
And he didn't give it back. He put that in his car instantly.
Right.
That
was the last day of your dummy door. You remember?
Yeah, my mom. We have to give context here. I had a dummy door, which what means is I had a certain amount of time in my life where I could date
Just a hot dummy.
just a hot dumb guy. And I think that closed senior year of high school.
It was gone. The
Yeah.
door was closed. But
Yeah.
there was somebody at the party. Remember? I was like,
Yeah,
dummy door.
yeah,
is
he was
almost-
hot.
Yeah,
He was dumb.
he still is cute.
Yeah, I had a boyfriend though.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget
A
that
very
one.
nice one.
That's a good one.
And also, I stopped opening up the house to everybody when bad things went down in the downstairs bedroom when you guys were getting really disgusting.
Yes. So
Like condoms in the water bottles.
Yeah, but at least we're having safe sex.
But still, that was gross.
Yeah, no, that was
time
really
to, like-
at this homecoming party. My friends, my brother's friends, who knows who it was?
We know who it was.
I know who it is too, and to this day they say it's not them. It was not them because they're still dating. But
I think they get married.
yeah, Mom, you're making it so obvious
Okay.
now. Enough. It's like the only high school sweethearts in my grade. Yeah, it was like putting condoms in like Gatorade bottles instead of just like throwing it in the garbage.
Right.
But all good.
Okay.
I had another Momtra. Well, no, I want to talk about how you hosted the pregame and go into kind of like like a whole like how you knew best things, and we were talking
Mother
about the
knows
other
best.
day. Mother knows best. Mother. I don't think I ever call you mother. And one thing that you were talking about before was, you know, how you really wanted to open me up to like new experiences, and you sent me on that Alabama trip.
Correct.
Or was it Alabama or Atlanta?
Alabama.
It was Alabama. So that necessarily I don't think shaped me as a human being. This was like a charity trip that my mom threw me on. No, look, it was nice. I did charity work. That's a whole.
You also had a charity.
I
Camp
did.
Fitters.
I did. Yes.
But I
subtle
did that
plug.
to make you a more interesting person. And as a parent, back to my mantras.
Putting me on a plane to ship me to Alabama to paint a school.
Yeah, but you know what? You weren't going to do anything at home. So it was like it gave you an experience, a conversation. You did a lot of extracurricular, whatever it is. But I
I definitely painted a school, but I was also trying to hook up with the cute guy on my trip.
Correct.
In the hotel room.
We have to find out where he is.
I know where he is. That sounds so creepy. I'm like, I know where he is.
But that's part of a parent's job.
Yeah.
To expose their kids. Like, I want you to have a better life than I had. And you're on the right track. I mean, even though I have a great life.
You have a great life.
But
you have great kids.
But I do. But it's important to, as a parent, to expose your kids to things. I mean, look, like now, you guys, you and your brother and most of the kids I know, you always had good internships. Like every step you do, or when you date, you go on a date. Like every time, I always say you're closer to what you're gonna want. So you have to expose yourself to things.
I agree. Mama knows best.
And then we go back to healthy birds fly the nest.
Oh my God, you're bringing up like all this like nostalgia with me right now.
No, I know, but it's true.
That one you haven't said in a very long time.
Because you know what? You graduated college and you flew. So job well done.
Thank you.
But
fucking sword.
That goes back to expose kids to everything. You need structure.
Most Are those index cards from like when I?
Yeah, they were from high school.
From high school, and we would study together.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was a nightmare. I was a horrible student.
But wait, advocate for yourself. I mean, all those like little things.
Yeah.
Yes, you were painful.
I was just begging you to put me on Adderall, and you guys were not doing it. And then you ended up doing it.
Yeah, you were pleasure when you came home.
Yeah, that drug
tired and cranky.
Because I was hungry too. Like that drug like starves you. Right. And then my dad, remember when Dad took it once?
Oh yeah, just try it to be super focused.
It was so funny. My dad had a test like for something for work. I don't know what it was. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take it." I'm like, "It's probably so expired. Like it's not gonna do anything."
I think I still have it.
It's probably from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Free Adderall. I'm kidding. But he texted me being like, "I don't feel it." And like 7 hours later, he was like, "Holy shit!" I don't know if you could tell we don't know how to talk about my dad without doing a voice. But we're like, "Holy shit! Like this drug's amazing. I haven't eaten all day, and I've been plowing through this book. It's a good drug. Good drug. Hosting the pregame I talked about. Experience things. Oh, jumpstart your work.
What? Well, you mean going to organizing and stuff. You don't want to fly by the seat of your pants. You've heard that too.
Yeah. Oh my God, you are full of wisdom.
No, but so you think about it when we were young, and I was talking to my friend yesterday who were both very similar parenting wise, but I was always a little bit more structured, a little more anal. Like maybe you came home from school and you had your snack, and then I made you do your homework, and then you're
also just like a Jewish mother.
No, but I just had like things, and my friend who I love dearly, her kids were riding bikes till 11 o'clock and doing homework on the way to school. But they're great kids also and successful. I think I probably should have lightened up a little bit, but I struggled.
I didn't think you were not like a strict parent.
No, I wasn't strict
and I think
at
the
all.
Parents that maybe, I don't know jack shit about parenting, but the parents that are really strict were the kids that went to college and all hell broke loose. Girls gone wild and sucking.
But that's why I wanted you to be exposed to everything. Because no, but I did because everything is a life lessons. I knew you were going to do, I don't want to say bad things, but I knew you were going to drink. I knew you were going to do drugs. I knew you were going to have sex. Like it happens.
No. When did you lose your virginity? I'm kidding.
Yeah. I will never be discussed.
And then the one other thing I wanted to touch on, which is it's not really a mantra, but more so something that you always really encourage is how having girlfriends is the most important thing.
super important.
Elaborate.
Girlfriends have always been important in my life. They fill me up. They make me happy. And the beautiful thing is you could choose your friends. Like your family is your family. You don't get to choose that.
Sorry,
but
you're stuck.
No, I'm happy with my family. But I mean, girlfriends are amazing just to confide in. I mean, so yes, friends are very important. And it's very important to also be a good friend and check in on people. And, you know, it's interesting because Dad always says, like, what'd you do all day? But you know what? Sometimes I'm just catching up with somebody.
You want to know what she's doing, guys? She's being my personal assistant. That's
which I always say I'm going to quit.
No, in your
now?
contract, you can't quit. It's a full-time, full life job.
I mean, even like when you're married with kids and you move from one house to the other, I got to do the moving.
I'm sorry, aren't you the one who always says no matter where I move, you move?
Well,
so
correct.
You're signing up for this.
No, but am I going to physically be moving you all the time?
Definitely.
Like this wasn't your last move that we did?
No.
When I was like had Lyme and felt horrible.
We didn't know that we didn't know you had Lyme disease when you were moving me.
Right.
So that's
your
on you.
And it was dirty from the last tenant, but that was fine. It's okay.
Well,
I love scrubbing a shower
for you.
after two guys move out.
That was disgusting.
It was disgusting.
That was disgusting. Those were all my mantras. Oh, and then I had even things how like you just know best with like, which is like so wildly inappropriate, but like when you, which I shouldn't be doing at that age, but like how you made me get laser.
Right. Well, because I was
when I was like 13.
Yeah, I always wanted to be like one step ahead of the game.
Yeah, but that was so killer because now I'm a hairless rat. And
it's just a beautiful thing. And I was like, you know what? Just suck it up. I would go to the lady. I would go, just going deeper. And you would like be so upset and it hurts. I'm like, you'll be happy one day.
I know. Can you actually bring me back to laser now? I could use a touch up.
Yeah, no, that's on you now, business lady. Also, you know what? I always tried to make life easier for you and help you. I mean, remember driving to, you know, the college essay lady who was trying to help us?
Well, I was very fortunate to have someone to help me.
Right, but
write my college essay.
No, but she didn't write your college essays. You wrote your college essays, but I was just trying to always be one step ahead of the game. So you were probably super psyched when, like, October, everything was written, all your applications were done, all your essays were done. We drove in the car.
I think that was the only time in my life where I was maybe not the only time. I'm sure people could disagree. I was a real bitch.
I drove an hour with you berating
to
me.
Lynbrook. I know where this is going.
Yeah, the whole time. It was exhausting.
Honestly, I shouldn't have been complaining. I was having
somebody was helping
someone was helping me, and she got us ice cream.
She loved us. And how she loved you after you exhausted me for an hour.
I was truly a nightmare. I wasn't always a nightmare.
No, you're a good kid.
Yeah. Well, thinking about it now, all those things I feel very fortunate to have had that.
Okay, and you'll
and now I'm like writing essays. It's just so crazy.
Which is crazy. And good at it too.
Yeah, no, I get a little offended though when like you, Dad, and family members are like, I can't believe you like write and are like creative. It's like I'm an adult now. So.
No, and you picked it all up.
Hell yeah. Any other Momtras? I kind of tapped out of my list.
I don't know.
Sure, you'll think of a lot more.
Let me look at my notes.
Don't be shy.
So when you look at a dating app, what do you look at? Like I remember like a long time ago we used to look like the school, but who cares at this point where somebody went to school? It's so irrelevant now. I mean, it was maybe like a year or two out of college. But who cares at this point? Anymore. So what do you look at when you look at a dating app?
Ooh. I look at, obviously I look at their photos, but specifically with their photos, I look at if they only have solo pictures versus friend pictures. I think if someone only has photos of themselves, it's by no means a red flag or a deal breaker to me, but I want someone who one at least like showcases that they are surrounded by people that they love to be with. So I think it's just a little bit alarming if it's strictly solo photos. That's something I look at. That's really, I would say that is probably the main thing I look for. Obviously initial attraction and all those things also, but I definitely feel myself being a lot more open to people that I know. When I was like 22 or 23, I would have like instantly X'd out. And I'm definitely more open to meeting people who aren't typically my type.
Right.
And the reason.
And I agree with that because I see that now. And I think years ago there were probably some goodies, but you just, weren't in that frame of mind.
No, I was totally in like my fuck girl era, which is fine.
Right.
But
guys, that window closed.
Now I'm time to fuck around a bit.
No, but I'm just saying.
Oh, hey guys, we're open again. Back
Close
in business. No, don't listen to my hag of a mother over there. What was I gonna say? I going back to the whole like opening myself up, not
your legs.
Going back to like being more open to dating people who aren't necessarily my type, especially looking at apps, is because there are times when I see a guy on an app and then I X him and then I see him in person, like randomly. I mean, what are the chances? But there have been times where I've had that happen and I'm like, oh my God, they're actually a lot cuter in person. Like, no offense to men, but I think men are a lot more attractive in person than they are in pictures, unless they're like a glowing Grecian goddess. But
a lot of people don't take time. Like a girl takes more time.
No, and sometimes a guy's photos are like from 2014 when they have like braces.
Right.
So, I would say just looking to see if they post like a variety of pictures. I also look at where they live. Mm-hmm. Not that I'm saying I wouldn't date someone who lives in like Hoboken or Jersey City or Brooklyn. I mean,
you did that too.
I did yep, stuttering now.
But you never went there.
City. No, I ended it before I went there. Not because he lived in Jersey City. No, I was actually whatever. He just wasn't for me. He was an incredible guy, but I definitely look at location. And I would say that I lied. Something I look at now too is so on certain dating apps you could write if like you drink or not. You could put like sometimes or often or whatever, and that's something I didn't start looking at until recently because not even recently stopped drinking, but it's kind of refreshing to see when someone writes that they only drink like sometimes or if they don't drink at all. I know we've talked about this, and we talked about this on the last episode too, is like the whole going into a date and letting them know that I don't drink is always like an interesting new territory that I'm working through. So it's kind of something I look for now. I'm not saying I'm going to X someone if they say yes to drinking because like I'm surrounded by my friends and people all the time who are drinking. It doesn't bother me. And I have a sip here and there. Looking at dating apps, it's a little refreshing knowing I'm going into it that this guy doesn't drink often or he doesn't drink at all. But that's something I never looked at before.
And next to the drinking should be like the thumbs up or thumbs down if they like stood you up or
full 360 moment
or didn't follow through on a date. Like why waste the next person's time?
Because maybe they've changed, Mom. You got to see
the benefit. But that's what I'm saying. They're only going to be
you're getting heated at this.
No, but they're only going to change if they're held accountable. Like then they'll man up or woman up and be nice, right? Getting back to being nice. You have to be a good person.
Lesson of the whole entire podcast episode is be fucking nice.
No, it's 100%
Even though my friends and I always say being called, if someone only calls you nice, that is the worst possible compliment.
They're nice.
They're nice. They're boring.
Yeah.
What's like the best word, and then we'll wrap. What's like the best word you think is, English is hard. What's the best word to be called?
You're wonderful.
That is so 1940s of you.
Oh, well, it is? Okay. Wait.
Wonderful?
Wait, I'm trying to think of a word that I use that you can't stand.
Like I say like they're awesome.
All right, amazing. Fantastic.
What's the word that you're going to say?
I was trying to think of the word
like
that
they're a winner.
A winner's good. No, I was trying to think of a word, but I'm blanking out that I say about someone and you say that's so meh that I can't say that.
Nice.
No, not nice. I can't say it.
Okay. Or you can't say it or you don't know it.
I can't say it and I don't know it.
Okay.
So stay tuned for next time. Stay tuned. I'll come up. I'm having a moment. I'll come up with my word. I promise.
And yeah, thanks everyone for listening. And thanks, Mom, for sitting with me again.
Anytime.
Same time next week.
My pleasure.